Chasing young boys with computers and say they are really young people. When people are stealing the billions which we have as the government.
Nigerian people have come out to state clearly that what happened on the floor of the Senate is unacceptable. It is a deliberate attempt to shut the Nigerian woman out of the political space. I mean, it's shameful enough that we have only 4 women in the Senate. And the one who we see as the most vocal, the one with records of work and achievements for her people, is the same person who is faced with this situation. It's terrible that if a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria would come out to say she's been sexually harassed, and people are trying to downplay it. People are trying to water down the conversation. This is not about party. This is not about, it's not a gender war. This is a human rights issue. It's a national issue. It's a national embarrassment for Nigeria. Who has not followed Natasha's story? From when she started, when she was in the SDP, the humiliation, the name calling, then she wasn't married, and then she got married and dared to contest. We saw what happened in Kogi State. We saw how the roads leading to her place was peeled off because they didn't want people to access. This woman is a fighter. I stand here today to say shame on all the women who have come out to downplay this woman's voice. Shame on all the women who have come to try to shut this woman up. We thought you people were mothers. How can you be doing this? It means that there is a culture of silence that is in the political space. There's a culture of fear. There's a culture of intimidation. How can a mother come out and tell me that the Senate is not meant for children? It is meant for the elderly. What kind of message are you passing to us? And Natasha is not her child. Natasha is a Nigerian woman who knows her onions, who is working and has the right to speak. In doing this, we call for an independent investigation. And while it is going on, sir, please let the Senate President step aside so that they can allow a proper investigation to be conducted.
A lot is happening right now. The clash between Senator Natasha and the Senate President has taken a whole new turn. And this time, Nigerians are hitting the streets in protest, demanding justice, transparency, and also calling out the Senate for allegedly trying to silence one of the few women in politics. Is this an attack on women in government, or is there more to the story? Let's break it down. Welcome back to Fem TV, where we keep you updated on hottest political trend in Nigeria. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Now let's get into it. For weeks now, the drama between Senator Natasha and the Senate President Akpabio has been unfolding. It just gets more intense. Protesters have taken the streets, demanding answer and calling for Akpabio to step down. Their arguments: they believe Natasha is being targeted because she speaks up and delivers results. And with only 4 women in the entire Senate, many see this as an attempt to push women out of the Nigerian politics. Online, Nigerians are divided. While some are saying justice for Natasha, this is political bullying. Others believe there is more to this situation and are asking what's really going on behind the scene. Meanwhile, the protesters insist that the Senate must conduct a proper investigation and stop sweeping issues under the rug. So what do you think? Is this a fight for women's rights in Nigerian politics, or is there another angle we should be looking at? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And of course, if you love fast and fresh political updates, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Fem TV, and turn on notifications so you stay ahead of the gist. See you in the next one.
Yes, yes. This is where I put you. May you not come out. Okay. Hello. Come. Stand like this. Moto, when they come like you go to see him. Okay. Come.
The National Assembly, the highlight of which was the protest over the Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan Senate President Godswill Akpabio dispute, which we gathered was dispersed at some point. But standing by to fill us in on what really transpired and more is Arise National Assembly correspondent Adeswa Giwa-Osage. Adeswa, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, please go ahead. Fill us in on what's happening where you are.
Okay, well, there's a lot going on here today. Early this morning, protests began outside, just outside the National Assembly, not far from where I'm starting, in support of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. At the same time, a counter-protest formed in support of the Senate President. Now, Senator Natasha Akpoti supporters were saying Akpabio must go, while Senator Akpabio supporters were saying Natasha must apologize. I was able to interview some of them before the melee that ensued and before police officers were able to disperse them. And there was confusion, actually. Now, some of the women who I interviewed who were there to support Senator Akpabio seemed confused as to what they were protesting about. One of the women did not even know who Senator Akpabio was. One woman told me she was supporting both of them before her co-protesters corrected her. And another woman said she knew nothing about what was really going on, but that she was asked to come. Now, both sides are blaming the other side for this protest. I was able to speak to some men who said that they were Senator Akpabio's aides and they were at the scene, and they claim that thugs came to disrupt the process. However, on the other side, the pro-Senator Natasha Akpoti protesters were saying that the thugs came to disrupt them and that they were first attacked. And so there is some confusion here, but the protests have been dispersed. And right now, the Ethics Committee is inside sitting, waiting for Senator Natasha to appear before them on the petition raised against her.
Wow, it seems that quite a lot is going on. Can you give us any idea of what it's like on ground right now? I see behind you, it's quite calm.
Well, within the National Assembly premises, which is where we are right in front of the main entrance of the National Assembly. It is very calm, and you will not believe the trouble that was brewing just a few feet from here, right outside the gate. I was there, of course. I got tear gassed. I might have broken one or two nails in the drama that occurred. But also there was drama in plenary because this was the first time that Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan did come to Senate since her interview at Arise News, and she did stand up to raise a petition against the Senate President, saying that she was suing him on the grounds of, not suing him, but petitioning for an investigation, rather, on the grounds of sexual harassment and misuse of power. Now, her petition, when she raised her petition, both the chief whip of the Senate and the majority leader stood up and raised points of order, saying that her petition was improper and that she could not petition on her own matter. So it's yet to be seen whether the Ethics Committee will hear her petition. But I do know they are on standby to hear the petition against her.